Good morning. Good morning, students. I've always wanted to do that. I am Onondaga County Executive Joni Mahoney, and it's my honor to be here today at Lemoyne Elementary School and to welcome all of our guests here. And before I get started, I would like to acknowledge some of the special people we have with us in addition to all the students. Senator Dave Valesky is with us. Welcome, Senator. Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli, Assemblyman Al Sturpey, Syracuse City Mayor Stephanie Miner, Onondaga County Legislature Chairman Ryan McMahon, and a lot of our other elected officials are here. We also have the superintendent of the Syracuse City School District, Jaime Alicea, has joined us, and the Syracuse Teachers Association President, Megan Root. And one of our most special guests, somebody the students already know, is the principal at Lemoyne Elementary School, Jason Armstrong. Thank you very much for hosting us today. When I became county executive about 10 years ago, which is before some of you were even born, one of the first things that I learned about was something called Say Yes to Education, and it was coming to the Syracuse City School District. And with the partners that I have in Onondaga County, we became a partner, and that happened. We agreed as a community that we were going to invest in our city schools and we were going to raise money for a scholarship so that all the students who graduated would be able to go to college for free. At almost the same time, the economy nationally suffered, and Onondaga County was struggling to raise that money to make sure that we could fulfill our promise that if you do your part and you graduate from school, that you can go to college for free. So an opportunity came up. The governor had a competition, his Upstate Revitalization Initiative, and he asked all of the communities across New York State to identify their strengths and then put in an application for a partnership with New York State government. We immediately identified as one of our strengths the students here in the Syracuse City School District, and we made that scholarship endowment part of our application. And I am proud to say that after we won, one of the first things that New York State did with our Upstate Revitalization Award was to fully fund the scholarships for Say Yes to Education so kids who graduate from the city school district can go to college for free. Thank you very much, Governor Cuomo. And one of the key components to getting there is to getting a good education and being successful as students. And we know, and in working with the governor's office, we know that the return on the investment is about $3 for every dollar we spend on quality after-school programs. This is one of the most effective economic development initiatives ever, is to invest in our kids, invest in quality after-school programs. I had the opportunity to talk to one of the students ahead of time about the computer lab and the extra math class and ELA and being able to stay here at school after hours. And we can do that because of the partnership that Onondaga County has with the Syracuse City School District and with New York State. And to tell you herself about the program, I would like you to give a warm welcome to Pratima Newpenny from Lemoyne Elementary.
Good morning. My name is Pratima Newpenny, and I am in 5th grade. I am a 5th grader at Lemoyne Elementary School. Today I want to thank Governor Cuomo for coming to Lemoyne Elementary and for supporting the after-school program. The after-school program is fun and lets me do activities at school. Instead of going home and going on Facebook, I get to work on my math homework, which is my favorite subject, or practice dance with my dance teacher. I am especially thankful to be able to go to after school because one day I want to be a teacher too. So on behalf of the students at Lemoyne Elementary, I'm excited to introduce the 56th Governor of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Good morning, Lemoyne Elementary School. And how great was Pratima? Let's give her a big round of applause. It is not easy to get up here and speak in front of all these people. Makes you nervous. I'm nervous. You know why I'm nervous? Because I got out of the car and they said, the principal wants to see you. And for me, that was always bad news when the principal wanted to see you. Let's thank the principal, Jason Armstrong, for his hospitality. We have a number of your elected officials, your county executive who runs the county, who does a fantastic job, Joni Mahoney. Let's give her a big round of applause. We have your mayor, Stephanie Miner, who has been the mayor of Syracuse, and she is done at the end of this year, so we want to thank her for her service. We have senators and assemblymen who are very important because they represent you, and they come to Albany and they work with me, and they vote on bills. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. So I work very hard to be nice to them so they agree with me. It's easy with Senator Valesky and Assemblyman Magnarelli and Assemblyman Sturpey because they are actually my friends. Sometimes it's not that easy, but I'm going to ask them to stand so you can give them a big round of applause and thank them for what they do. And we have a lot of other people who do good work for your community. We have Ryan McMahon here, Rob Simpson, so let's give them all a round of applause. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We're coming into the Christmas season now, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's very exciting. I love coming to Syracuse. I love coming to Central New York and see all that we have going on. We've done a lot to invest in businesses, to grow jobs, because we want you to stay here and we want you to have those jobs. We have the new amphitheater. Have you been to that new amphitheater? How great is that? We have the big investment in the State Fair, and the State Fair has been all redone. You have to go there. There's a new ride, the Sky Ride, that takes you up very high. It's like a gondola. That is very cool. I did that with the county executive. We took a ride, and I sensed that the county executive was a little anxious on the Sky Ride. I then exploited her anxiety and teased her on the Sky Ride, making the ride go back and forth. Just shows that you can be very old and still tease. It's a bad habit, so break it young, I say. It's not too late. Otherwise, you wind up like me. But a lot of good work. And our number one investment that we make as a state is in education, is in you. And this state now spends more on education than we've ever spent in history. This state spends more per pupil on education than any state in the United States of America, and I am proud of that. And not only do we spend more money, but we are now actually spending it smarter than ever before. One of the places we're investing in is the main determiner of how well education works. And you know what the main determiner of how well an education system works? The teachers, your teachers. And investing in teachers and educating teachers and rewarding teachers. We have the Master Teacher Program, new center of excellence. And you know where I learned this lesson? From my mother, because she was a school teacher, and she taught public school. And she taught me how important the teachers are to making the education system work. And we believe in that, and we're investing in them. And let's give them a round of applause, your teachers, and thank them for all that they do. But we also know education is not just about 9 to 3, not just about teaching studies. It starts very early. That's why we've invested more in pre-K than ever before to get people even younger. And it doesn't end at 3 o'clock. And that's what Pratima was talking about. Some countries, you go to school until 7, 8 o'clock at night. Some countries, there is no summer vacation. They have students in their schools all year round. And you're going to be competing with these students. So the old thought that it ends at 3 o'clock, no. There's a lot more good that you can do after 3 o'clock. And that's what they talk about, the after-school programs. Pratima's learning dance, computer classes where you can learn more in math or whatever your favorite topic is. And that's a lot more beneficial than going home at 3 o'clock and sitting on the couch and watching TV or playing with video games. My father, who passed away a couple of years ago, and I miss him very much every day, but my father was very big, or I thought he was very big, because I was more your size. But actually, he was about my size, but he was very big, and he had a very deep voice, my father, and he could be very serious. And he was very against video games. And he would say, and they even had video games when I was young, believe it or not. They were sort of basic video games, but they were video games. And he would say, "You're wasting your time on those video games." And then he would say, "Video games melt your brain." And he would say it like that. And I would say, "Oh my God, it's going to melt my brain." So he was very against video games. My younger brother, who's much younger, I have one brother who's much younger, 3 sisters. But he was always a little bit of a wise guy, my younger brother. Don't tell him I said this, just keep it between us. And he would play video games all day. And I would walk up to him and I would feel his head. And I would say, "Your head is really hot. I think your brain is melting from the video games." And if you see him now, I think his brain did melt when he was young. But don't tell him I said that either. So after 3 o'clock, you want to be doing a lot of productive things. And the school can do that. It's been a question of funding. So the legislature appropriated $35 million to invest in you in after-school courses. And we said to school districts all across the state, you tell us how you would spend the after-school money, and if it's a good idea, we'll give you funding. And Central New York did extraordinarily well. $1.9 million is being awarded to the Central New York school districts for 1,200 after-school slots. That's a 106% increase from last year's funding. So congratulations. And the after-school and the pre-K and investing in teachers and investing in education is for one very simple reason: to get you to a place where you can do whatever you want to do in life. Whatever that might be, that you can actually achieve your dreams. And more, education is the ladder to get to those dreams. And to do what you want to do, you're going to need a good education. And to do what you want to do, you may need a good college education. Half of all the jobs in the next 5 years will require a college education. Half. And the question of going to college is 2 questions. Do you have the grades to get in? And then the second question is, can you afford it? And for a lot of families, the question of affording college has created tremendous anxiety. because either the parents weren't in a position to pay for it, especially with this economy, or the child would have to take on debt and leave college with a debt that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars and be a burden on them for the next 25, 30 years. So college affordability was a major issue. And many people didn't go to college because they couldn't afford it. And their dreams were stopped, not because they weren't smart, not because they weren't ambitious, they didn't work hard, but because they couldn't afford it, because their parents couldn't afford it. And that is wrong, and that is sad. And that's why one of the greatest things this state did, and your assemblymen and senators did, was pass free college in the state of New York, the only state that has it, that says if you can get into a state school, whether or not you can pay, you're going to go because the state is going to pay on your behalf. And that is a beautiful thing, because it says to every one of you, when you go to sleep at night and you dream, I want to be a teacher, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a ballerina, I want to be a sports star, whatever you want to be, you can be if you work hard to get there. And whether or not you can pay for it will never be a question, because you're in New York and you are a New Yorker, and we believe we are all one family, and we want you to get the education as much as your parents want you to get the education. Why do we do this? First reason is because it's smart, because if we have an educated workforce, jobs come here. These state economies that win are the state economies that have the most educated workforce. That's the first reason, smart. What is the second reason why we spend all this time and all this money educating our students? Why do these teachers work so hard? Why do people spend so much in tax dollars to get you the best education we can give you? What is the second reason? The first reason is it's smart. This is a test. Second reason, why do we care so much and spend so much time and effort on your education? And just to get your juices flowing, whoever gets the right answer is going to get this special gold coin of the state of New York. What is the second reason why we invest in education and work so hard and care so much about you? Four-letter word. Get a good job, that's true. But that is not the four-letter word I'm looking for. So what? So you can become president? That is a good answer. Not the answer I was looking for this morning, but a good answer. So you could become president because of love. You win. Come up here. What's your name?
My name is Sharice Johnson.
Give Sharice Johnson a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Because it's smart, but because we love you. And at the end of the day, it's very simple. And that's all it's about. It's about making you smarter, making the state stronger, because we love you. And we want to give you every opportunity and every benefit that we can. And that's what all of this is about. And we wish you the ability to accomplish your dream, whatever it is. And we will give you all the help and all the support that we can. Thank you for being with us. Thank you all.
concludes our program. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, students, for being such a great audience.